Thanks to the support as a channel member, DC Maximo. Well, the season keeps seasoning, and we're still in with a chance of qualifying for Europe this year, maybe winning the FA Cup. We've got two very tough games coming up today, though, so I'll probably change my tune by the end of the episode. Hello and welcome to part 128 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have an FA Cup fifth round tie at home against Chelsea and a Premier League game at home against Liverpool. Since you were last with me, we've not played loads and loads of games. What we have done is got through in the FA Cup against Bolton and Fleetwood to get us through to this stage of the competition, and we managed to draw against Chelsea at home in the Premier League, which was an incredible result, which means after 28 matches, this is how we're looking. 7th in the Premier League, 48 points on the board. Any thoughts of relegation long since departing, and it's now all about, can we do something absurd this season? Wouldn't it be nice if we could? I guess we'll see. I don't think we did any more transfer business at the end of the window that you didn't already see. I'm saying that and now wondering at what point the last episode cut off, because I might have done. Let me check. Yes, I did do some business after you got to the end of the last episode. So in terms of players leaving the club, Josh Hill left on loan. Will Kennedy. Last time I'll be able to do that because he's gone to Hull for £750,000. And Dimitris Nikolaou, formerly our record signing, has gone to play in Australia for Central Coast Mariners on loan until the end of the season. And Shane Lowry, because I can't say his name, has gone to Sheffield United in League One. If he's worth anywhere near that, they should pay us the money. We used that money to then bring in a few more boys. I think we got as far as Ansong, and Druskovic was on his way in but hadn't yet signed in the last episode. He has arrived on loan until the end of the season. He's not exactly been spectacular so far, but he's here and can play on the right wing. We did get someone who seems a little bit more interesting, though. On the left-hand side, Jeremy Hermoso is a 22-year-old Spanish under-21 international who's joined us on loan from Villarreal and will join us permanently in the summer. I say he's a little more interesting. His average rating is even lower than the other guys. Goodness me, this is all going wrong. But we then spent £7.5 million on a goalkeeper, because we had money left. So why not? Malachi Beswick. He's a 24-year-old Canadian international. He's Canada's actual goalkeeper. We haven't used him yet. We might start using him at some point. He's really just come in as a backup goalkeeper because we sold Paddy Hollywood earlier in the summer. But he's definitely here, not just to be backup, he's here to compete with Slocum. The coaching staff think he's better than Slocum. Slocum kind of needs to make a mistake to justify him coming out of the team first. And then with our final little bit of pennies that we had lying around, Jared Cottam came in from Leicester. He was on the transfer list there, so we managed to pick him up for £225,000 just 2 years after he joined them for £13 million. So it seems like a pretty decent piece of business. Still only 27, and he just allows us to rotate Christodoulou a little more, or more accurately, have some cover when Christodoulou is inevitably suspended, as he is quite often. So with all those transfers having now been done, this is the team for the game against Chelsea in the FA Cup. It's Slocum in goal, a back four of Martin, who now Agume is here, can actually play at left back. So Martin, Fanimo, Agume and Castro at the back four. Dixon and Christodoulou in midfield. I see you comment section telling me that we should maybe try the Segundo Volante role again for Christodoulou. His best role is ball-winning midfielder. We're going to keep doing it until he starts getting sent off even more often than he already is. So it's those two in midfield, and then Hermoso, Ansong and McCaffrey behind Carstairs up front. As excited as I got about Musat in the last episode, he's still, he's not spectacular. Carstairs is still very good. It would be harsh to just drop Carstairs completely. Musat has got time to learn English, get settled in. I'm expecting next year to be his year, that he just dominates and gets 30 goals for us. Wouldn't that be nice? He probably won't, but wouldn't it be nice if he did? Yes, it would be lovely if he did. So it is a packed out Gavin Rose Stadium for this FA Cup fifth round tie against Chelsea. You would ordinarily expect us to get beaten comfortably, but we did hold them to a 1-1 draw in the league very recently, which is actually a result that took them off the top of the Premier League. So yes, they're a good side, but we frustrated them recently admittedly only with a draw at home, and they did beat us comfortably at their place earlier in the season. I think they also are the team that knocked us out of the EFL Cup. So we've played Chelsea a lot this year, and we haven't beaten them yet. So we're not that hopeful that we're going to come out with a result today. But, you know, magic of the FA Cup, Wembley to Wembley and all that. Wouldn't it be nice for us to make it to an FA Cup final? Yes. Yes, it would, because that gets us to Wembley, and that would be ideal. I mean, I'm not even going to end the series if we do it, like I was threatening to previously. We're now waiting until we see the new stadium, so we can win the FA Cup safely. We've avoided the playoff finals all the way through, but we can now safely win the FA Cup knowing the series will still continue. We've got a goal through Carstairs. Hermoso's got injured in the build-up. He did very well as part of the build-up as well, but just crumpled as the play carried on without him, and the goal's been disallowed as well. So all in all, absolute disaster. So let's try and see what happens to Hermoso. He did just flop. So that's a pulled hamstring or something along those lines. And then Carstairs was offside. We don't have Duffy on the bench, which is a little bit of an oversight. I mean, in actual fact, I think we bring Musat on here. And Carstairs goes out onto the left wing as an inside forward, and Musat gets almost the full 90 against Chelsea, which is a big opportunity for him to kind of stamp his position in the team. Prove to me that he's the guy who should be starting. I mean, as a team, we've had a very, very solid start against Chelsea. They've not had a shot yet. They have had 74% of the possession, but they've not had a shot. We've had 4. We're creating all the chances. They're just keeping hold of the ball and biding their time, which kind of seems to be their thing that they like to do. And here you go. They've bidden their time, and they now have opened the scoring with their first shot of the entire match, which is always fun when that happens. We love that, don't we? It might be a long afternoon. We've lost a key player. We're playing our top scorer out of position on the wing after he'd already proven he was looking sharp today by getting that finish when he was offside. I suspect today's not going to go very well for us. But, you know, we've got Liverpool next. We are above Liverpool in the league. So if ever there was a time for us to beat Liverpool and prove we're better than them, it would be when we're above them in the league. It is also worth pointing out, obviously, that we are still getting the benefit of our incredibly low reputation as a club, which I don't think we get that benefit in the cup competitions. I think they do tend to play a stronger team against us in the cups than they do against the league because of weird football manager things. Hopefully Liverpool put the reserves out and we can rattle a few goals past them. Musat then, first look at what he's got to offer today, finds Agume and now Castro to Agume. And are we going to do an attack out of this? Christodoulou plays it forward to Ansong, who's gone past his man, but then the next man tackles him comfortably and the move is just kind of snuffed out. I've just realised I don't have my big light on in here. Is everyone going to be complaining that I'm too dark again? Or can we get back to being all right with just the little lights on? I think we're fine with just the little lights on. They're in again, but that's a good clearance from Fanimo. I think it is who clears that off the line, but doesn't clear it far enough. It falls to the Chelsea player on the edge of the area and he tucks it past Slocum relatively easily. And I'm now wondering if it might be time to play my new Canadian goalkeeper, because Slocum's beaten really easily here. I don't know. It's not as if it's even gone into the corner. I feel like he should be doing better than that. It's a little bit harsh to criticise us when we've not even had, criticise him for us losing when we've not even had 40% of the possession. Chelsea are dominating the match, but they have also scored 2 goals off less than half an XG. So at that point, you do have to question the goalkeeper a little bit, I think, if you're playing against a team who are well above their XG. McCaffrey does very well to skip past his fullback. And that was a big opportunity, and he probably should be squaring it. We had men in the middle. I think both Musat and Carstairs were in the middle ready for the tap-in. McCaffrey goes for glory. There was no glory to be had. Right, we are going to go attack him and risk the wrath of Slocum by bringing Beswick on at half-time. Probably should have started him with it being a cup game. But this is going to be his opportunity to show me that he deserves a spot in the team. 45 minutes against probably the best team in the country, certainly the team that have caused us the most problems most consistently over the course of the season. And we have gone attacking as well, which we don't do a huge amount this season because we don't really expect to get anything out of anybody. And when we play against the teams that are much better than us, we're usually just happy to not get embarrassed. But it's the FA Cup, so we are going to throw men forward and try and win the match a little bit. Because why wouldn't we? And Musat's in, and Musat's nicked one. It's a loose ball from the Chelsea defender. He's got there before their keeper, and that's us with a lifeline. We're back in the game, and we're back in the game through Musat. And this is lovely work from him. McCaffrey putting a little bit of pressure on the left back, but not enough to cause the mistake. It's just sloppy play from Chelsea, and Musat is there. And I think it's time to wheel out the Segundo Volante on attack. Dixon can then be an anchor. This is what we originally envisioned for these two when they both first signed. We tried it a little bit and it didn't really work. Well, now we're going to try it a big bit and see if it does work. Ansong is tired, so Adeyemi can come on for him. Dixon is tired, so Kerslake, can he play as an anchor, or do we bring Smith on to play there? We might be better off just sticking Smith in there to play as the anchor. I think we'll do that. Or even Fanimo might make more sense. Push him a little bit further forward. If we play Fanimo as the anchor, alongside Christodoulou as the Segundo Volante, giving him the opportunity to get forward, we're going to offer some more encouragement. Have we got anyone who wants to step up and become a hero? Chelsea still only had 2 shots on target in the entire match, so we've not seen any kind of test for the new goalkeeper yet. McCaffrey's now tiring, so Williams can come on for him. That's our final substitution. We're going to go all out attacking. Very attacking, and hope that we can grab an equaliser from somewhere. I don't think it will lead to a replay, which would be worth lots of money. I think it goes to extra time and penalties at this stage of the FA Cup this far in the future. But we kind of have to get the equaliser first. And, oh, here we have a corner. Could this be it? Williams with the corner. Fanimo's there, but he can't keep his header down. Oh, it's the 89th minute in the FA Cup. We need a goal. And Fanimo had a massive chance there. We've been done by XG. We've been FM'd. Is it Slocum's fault that we've just been knocked out of the FA Cup? It's a little bit harsh to suggest it is, but we did keep a clean sheet in the second half. But then Chelsea didn't have a shot in the second half either, so it was tricky for them to score. But the FA Cup run is over for another year. Let's go and try and get something out of Liverpool in the league. Well, no more experimenting with Segundos or Volantes in this episode, because guess what? Christodoulou's suspended again. So he sits this one against Liverpool out. So we've shuffled things around a little bit. Fanimo's moving forward into midfield to play alongside Dixon, which means Martin comes in from left back, Graben coming in to replace him at left back, Vaughan comes in for Castro at right back. Bezic is going to start in goal ahead of Slocum, and Duffy comes in on the left hand side because of the injury to Hermoso. Williams comes in on the right hand side because McCaffrey didn't do anything, and Musat is going to start up front because he came on and scored a goal against Chelsea, so we need to give him the opportunity to show that that spot in the team is his by rights. He has got 3 goals for us now in only 3 starts, I think, because a couple of his goals have come off the bench. He does seem more of a goal threat coming off the bench. He's not been great when he started, which is why I've not really started him very much, but you score a goal against Chelsea, especially when it's completely made by yourself, you earn yourself a start against Liverpool. I think that's how it works around here. Liverpool trying to play through our midfield and doing it quite comfortably, which is a little bit alarming, especially when we've only got the little man back in at centre-back today. And the new keeper has been beaten in the air, and that's the problem with having a 6-foot goalkeeper. Is Slocum 6'2", I think? He's a little bit bigger. And this is the problem we're going to have with Bezic. He's just little arms, isn't he? Oh. Everything was going so well. This would put Liverpool above us and make qualification for Europe for us more of a challenge. Remember, realistically, we're not about getting into Europe this year. We were about staying in the league. We've already stayed in the league. A mid-table finish is absolutely fine. We expected a run of poor results in the second half of the season. It hasn't really come, although we've been a little bit wobbly in the last couple of matches. That's better from Bezic in goal. Bezic, Malachi. Should we just call him Malachi? It's probably Malachi, isn't it? I don't know how to say anything. I've lost the ability to do words, which is not ideal, bearing in mind what my job is. But Liverpool playing it all the way back to their keeper, then trying to build things up from deep again. I like the fact that Musat is just constantly making a nuisance of himself. You can see how close he's getting to the defenders. He's not playing as a pressing forward. He's just doing that same advanced forward role that everybody else does. But he does just I think it may be because he's a little bit quicker. Just seems to make a little bit more of a nuisance of himself. I enjoy it very much. What I didn't enjoy is going 2-0 down. Liverpool have had 2 shots and scored twice. So clearly the change to the goalkeeper hasn't changed our inability to combat XG. Ansong's got himself into a crossing position, though, decides to cut it back to Williams, who squares it to Duffy. And that's a big miss from Duffy. That was a big opportunity. And I mean, it's the difference between us and the bigger teams. They're completely clinical. We waste our big chances. And we've seen it time and time again this season, and that was another example of it. We've got a free kick here, though. It's going to be Ansong. I don't think we've seen Ansong attempt a direct free kick yet. If he's got free kicks in his locker, I'm about to get very excited about this young player. So Ansong just plays it to Duffy. It's a shenanigans one, and Graben hits the post. If you're going to do a shenanigans free kick, you've got to at least apply the finish. Ansong fires it wide as well. In fact, I'm a little bit harsh on him there because it's gone behind for a corner. But it's opportunities and opportunities being squandered. Vaughan with the in-swinger to the near post. The goalkeeper comes for it, flaps for it, completely misses. And despite having Dixon being all what, 6'4", 6'5", Dixon is, the keeper flapping at it was just enough to take it just over his head, and he can't quite get to it. But that was another big opportunity. I imagine, similar to the Chelsea game, we're probably ahead on XG here, and it is just a little bit frustrating. Right, Musat, trying to build something up from a little bit deeper, gives it to Ansong, and he misses Williams completely from really quite short range. Now I see why he didn't attempt to shoot from the free kick, because he can't even pass to the guy nearest to him on the football pitch. That was like me trying to play Rush on EAFC. Oh, EAFC talk, eh? You should watch those videos. They've been quite fun as well. Don't worry, they're not replacing Football Manager. They're alongside it. We can enjoy both. We're adults here. We're allowed to like both games. And Bezic sees the ball over the crossbar from the Liverpool chance. We are massively ahead on XG, but look at the difference. Liverpool, 3 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals from a 0.42 XG. We've had 4 shots, all of them off target, and I've got 0 goals from double their XG. So not only are we still frustrating in goal, I mean, a 6.1 is not an ideal debut, is it? So we're frustrating defensively and really wasteful in the attack. 6 shots now, all of them missing. We've got 0.97 XG. It's more than double Liverpool's XG, and we've got absolutely nothing to show for it. This is 2 good performances. It feels like we're close to being a really good Premier League team, but we're just missing that little bit of quality. It feels like the system is probably right. We know the system works, but we haven't quite got the personnel to make it work yet. For example, Musat, not had a very good game at all. And we're having to do this without Christodoulou, which is never ideal. Swap those 2 over. Cotton can come on and play in that ball-winning midfielder role. I want to demand more here. I think the strikers in particular, the attackers, need to be told that they've got to up their finishing. We're trying to fix the goalkeeping problem. I don't know that we've fixed it with the £7 million goalkeeper making his debut, but we've got to be a bit more clinical with our finishing as well. It's all very sad. That's their 3rd shot on target and their 3rd goal. I don't think we've had a goalkeeper make a save in this episode across 2 different goalkeepers, which is a really alarming situation to be in for a team who at the start of the episode, I had the audacity to say had aspirations of getting into Europe. I think we can forget any talk of that. I mean, but yeah, there you go. Let's ruin the confidence of both keepers. Slocum's on with 10 minutes to go. It's been 2 really poor performances from the starting goalkeepers. And now the only chance we get is from a set piece again. I mean, we've scored it. It's too little too late. I mean, is he offside anyway? Carstairs going to have his 2nd goal of the episode chalked off for an offside. Because that's frustrating with him then. If he can't keep himself offside, he kept himself onside. We'll allow it. So it was Duffy who hit the in-swinger. I think is that Agume with the flick on? That's what we brought him in to do. 6'4", he's in to be a threat from set pieces. He does flick it on, and Carstairs stays the right side of his defender. That's never in doubt, and is there to tuck it away. I mean, I don't think we're getting back into it from here. We'll go very attacking. We'll demand more. Who knows? If we can grab one more before the 90th minute, it does make the added time interesting, doesn't it? But I suspect that's not going to happen. I don't know what the delay was there with those two. We've seen some clangers from Slocum over the last few years, but between him and Martin, neither of them seemed to have any idea who was supposed to deal with that. I just needed one of them to. It didn't matter which one. Someone just needs to put their foot through it. Carstairs has scored again. And now it's 86 minutes. We've only got one more goal left to grab. And all of a sudden, things are getting a little bit more interesting. Carstairs has come on and really made my point for me that he should still be starting ahead of Musat at this stage of their respective careers, with 2 goals for him. But, I mean, we deserve at least a draw here. XG would tell you we should be leading the game comfortably. But Liverpool knocking the ball around at the back. Can we put a little bit more pressure on? And this is where we need Musat putting the pressure on. It's something Carstairs can't really do because he's 1,000 years old. But Kerslake now dancing through the defence as if they're not there. He's hit the post. Oh, my word. This comeback is on, boys and girls. Right, it's a throw-in now with Vaughan on the right-hand side. Adeyemi, who, of course, wasn't even in the squad the first half of the season. We've managed to register him for the second half, and he is now getting a little bit of game time. Cotton to Martin. Martin out to Graben, and we've got Duffy as a man over on the left-hand side. Carstairs is in the middle on a hat-trick. Duffy finds him. Carstairs has got a hat-trick. Don't you be disallowing this, referee. We deserve this. We've earned this. Please, referee, work with me here. Has Carstairs kept himself onside? He has! It's been given! What on earth do I do now with mentality? We've got all the momentum with us. You've got to believe we can go on and win the game. We probably go to attacking from very attacking. We offer some encouragement. Have we got a winner in us? Wouldn't that be a story? 3-0 down on 85 minutes. We've brought it back to salvage a point that we definitely deserved. I feel like we maybe even deserved a little more than that, but this is why we're challenging for Europe, boys and girls. You can't ever count us out. We're a very strange team. Carstairs. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. Carstairs stars as Wembley rue chances. I mean, it's a solid point. If everyone else had played as well as he did when he came on, did he have a beard when he signed? Has he grown a beard over the course of the season? But if anyone else had been as clinical as him, we'd have deservedly beaten Liverpool there. Can't have it all, can you? Right. As it looks like mid-table obscurity, we'll probably just play through to the end of the season now and do the final 2 matches tomorrow. If it becomes more interesting along the way, we'll come back a little bit sooner. It'd be nice to be able to come back for the final 2 matches still with a chance of getting into Europe. I mean, we've got a chance at the moment. I wouldn't have believed you if you'd have said after 29 games we'd be a point below Man City and above Liverpool in the league. Absolutely. How are Man United getting on in the Championship? Oh my word. There's a rebuild brewing there, isn't there? Goodness me. But for now, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.